Good morning, Rebels, and welcome back to my life. So if you're watching this video, there's a pretty good chance that there was a pre-roll ad right beforehand, and that there's a little banner ad about to pop up right down here, and that there's another advertisement next to the video on the right-hand side, like right over there. If you didn't see those ads, it's probably because you have ad block on, and I hope you don't, because let's face it, I make money on those ads. Not very much money, admittedly, but combined with everything else that I do, it does help support me and my family. Advertising is everywhere on the internet. It is everything on the internet. It is how the internet works. But advertising isn't a perfect business model, and for that reason, if you do use ad block, I really can't blame you. I mean, for one thing, ads can just be kind of annoying. Like, I generally don't mind YouTube's pre-roll ads, but if the ad is like really poorly made, or you can't skip it, or the sound is just way too loud, it can be a super jarring experience. For another thing, humans in general have become very good at tuning out advertising because it is everywhere. It's just background noise to us, something we have to endure until we get back to our regularly scheduled programming. So just because advertising is the most ubiquitous method of earning money on the internet doesn't mean it's the best one. But what are some of the alternatives? Well, probably the second most popular way people earn money on the internet is by selling things. Now, these can be digital products like online courses or physical products like merchandise. Now, this is great if you've got a big enough audience to support yourself, but building that audience can take time, and sometimes your potential audience is just too small or too niche to actually, sustain that kind of career. And what if your main product is something like a YouTube channel? Sure, you can produce merchandise, but most people are just going to come to your channel and watch your videos, which they can see for free, and only a tiny percentage of them are going to be interested in wearing your admittedly awesome t-shirt. So that leaves us with one more way to generate money, and that's crowdfunding. And this is probably one of my favorites. Whether it's Kickstarter or Indiegogo doing one big fundraising push to pay for one big project, or a subscription model like Patreon, crowdfunding allows creators to appeal directly to their audiences to help pay for their work. More and more YouTubers are earning a living through Patreon, which means that they no longer have to rely on YouTube's advertising, which, let's face it, doesn't pay very well unless you have millions and millions of subscribers. With sites like Patreon, you need a much smaller audience before you can support yourself producing free art, and it can be an awesome way to supplement your income from the regular things that you do, like selling products. I make a decent amount of money from my book sales, but not as much as I need to support myself and my family, which is why I created my Patreon page in June of last year, and some of you became patrons, and that's totally awesome. But I haven't been providing as much content to my patrons as I should be, and recently I've become way more active on YouTube with regular vlogging and the return of Garrett's games. So in coordination with that, I'm going to be devoting a lot more attention to my Patreon page, and I'm actually going to be bringing my wife on to help me run and manage the page, which is awesome. I will introduce you to her and that whole function in tomorrow's vlog. So if you've never checked out my Patreon page before, there's a link in the description, or you can use YouTube's new card feature and click on the little eye in the top right corner of the screen, if that's working for you. Apparently it's only a few countries. Sorry, people in Portugal. I'm looking at you, Alex. There's going to be a whole lot more awesome stuff happening on my Patreon page starting today. I revised all of my goals, and the first one is that if we reach the $500 a month milestone, I'm going to turn off advertising across all of my YouTube channels. Because let's face it, I like getting advertising money from YouTube, but that whole business model is so 10 years ago. I think fan funding has a huge potential for growth on the internet, and how awesome would it be if we weren't deluged with advertisements on every single website we visited, but instead we just contributed to the livelihood of the creators who produce the content that we really truly love. That's the kind of world I would prefer to live in, and I think we can get there, and I want to be one of those creators that you love. Thanks for watching, Rebels, and I will see you tomorrow. Maybe. Bye! Just a quick reminder, Rebels, if you want to contribute to the YouTube channel, you can become a patron at patreon.com, or now you can give a one-time gift through YouTube's new fan funding feature. Just click on that little eye at the top right corner of the video. See you tomorrow. Bye!